All right, and welcome in everybody. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take coming at you with a Week 12 recap. Week 12 was fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Had a bunch of close games. We had 3 games go to overtime, which was really nice, and one of them ended up going into the top 5, so that's fantastic for me. And other than that, I mean, the top 5 games of the week for me, yeah, a couple of them ended up being duds. One of them I did not expect. One of them, sure, I expected, the Browns and Raiders. But honestly, like I said, going into this week, I wanted the Browns and Raiders specifically to be in there, personally for my own personal reasons. But also, these teams have been bad. They've been nothing but pushed to the side, and why not show them at least a little bit of love, at least a little bit of recognition, right? So I'm not going to feel bad about it. I don't feel bad that it wasn't a very good game. But at the same time, I mean, for example, like Giants-Lions. Come on, that game was so freaking good. Like, I did call it, though. I did call it. I did say that this game was a possible upset watch, and the Giants had a lead in that game and brought it to overtime, but the Lions were able to pull it out at the very end. So, I mean, it was tight. It was fun. I mean, definitely the slate of games this week was overall looking to be strong. In terms of the low floor, I said it was like high floor, low ceiling in my Week 12 predictions. But it ended up being a really strong week overall. Like I said, a bunch of great games, 3 overtime finishers. So there's not a lot to complain about. There's a lot to be happy about. And also with Thanksgiving rolling around, which you guys will see me talk a little bit more about that on Thursday. But with that being said, I think that's all we got for you to just briefly give you my thoughts on what happened throughout the week and what really excited me. But now it's time to recap all the games, starting with their top 5, and then we'll get to the rest of the slate at the end. So without further ado, it is time to officially let it recap. Kicking off number 5, the Browns take down the Raiders 24-10. And look at this throw by Shedeur Sanders. To see him playing and having some success makes me so happy for him. And also shout out my guy VFL, Dylan Sampson, for getting the first touchdown of his career. Going back to the recap, key one was to simplify the game, and they did. They ran the ball not with much success, but they did running a lot. And Sanders was able to get a couple easy completions in there as well. Key 2, stopping the run. They made Ashton Genty's life difficult, and despite all that, they still lost Key 3, winning time of possession. They couldn't sustain drives at all, really, but all we needed was a good defensive performance and a below-average offensive one, and Cleveland moves to 3-8 on the year. Now for Vegas, this offense is just miserable. At least the Titans are growing with Cam Ward, and Cleveland's got a lot of youth on that side, too. This bunch is stuck in the Stone Age. Key 1 for them was to run the ball, and they tried, but they couldn't do it. It was so bad that you're seeing Genty's receiving highlights right now. Key 2 for them was to win on 3rd down, and they did not. They were better than Cleveland at sustaining drives, but Jesus, that's really hard to do when you allow, let me check my notes here, 10 sacks? Are you serious, man? Key 3, though, no turnovers. Well, you won the battle 1-2, but 0 turnovers, like I said in the preview, would have been better. The Raiders fall to 2-9, and Chip Kelly is fired. And I was right to be concerned about that hire after all. Now we move to number 4. How about them Cowboys with the big-time comeback, 24-21, ties the franchise record for the biggest one. But we got to talk about Philly first because Kevin Patullo, he might need to go. Key 1, the offense needing to be better. It was going so good after jumping up 21-0, and then a missed field goal later. They did nothing the rest of the game, and when Jalen Hurts was struggling to pass, Dak was thriving. His Key 2 was also not achieved. In order to beat Dallas, you have to slow down the pass, the big 3, and they looked sorry while trying to in the second half. And then Key 3, no turnovers. Well, they committed turnovers and it didn't amount to points, but it gave Dallas life, and that was the big picture for that key. So they strike out and fall to 8-3, and I'm going to say it, this team is not scary at all. Now, Dallas, it's your time to shine, and what a way to step up in a big way. And flowers to Key 1 this defense came alive for the first time this year for me. After going down, they pitched a shutout the rest of the game. They made the Eagles' lives very difficult on offense. And then key two, slowing down the Eagles' defense. Sure, Javonte Williams helps a lot. But let's just be honest. Didn't really need to slow it down when George Pickens, look at this catch, dude. He is insane. CeeDee Lamb also played well, so I want to give him his credit. But Jesus, these guys were just going off in this game. And then thirdly, key three, no turnovers. Despite losing the turnover battle, they found a way to win. And once again, I truly have no idea who Dallas is. I don't have an answer for you. But what I do know is that they moved to 5-5 and won. That and one part is so weird to say even now. Okay, I was not expecting the Rams to destroy Tampa 34-7, but here we are. And with Baker going out with the shoulder injury, that decision alone to put him out there right before half should put Todd Bowles on the hot seat, straight up. And key one for them was a pass-ish for me. They didn't bottleneck themselves with Chris Godwin and Bucky Irving, but that's because Godwin did next to nothing and Irving didn't play. So might be bending the rules here, but I'm not going to give it to him. Key two, limiting big plays. Apparently way too much to ask for. Look at this catch by Davante Adams. I loved watching him play, so at least I can find some good there. And then key three, play boring ball. The whole thing was a bore other than this Tez Johnson touchdown. Shout out to him. But they had no choice to do that after Baker went down, and they better hope his injury doesn't cause him to miss too much time. In 6-5 never looked so bleak. LA, you, my friend, are a true juggernaut right now. And what do juggernauts do? Exploit weaknesses. Looking at key one, utilizing the tight ends. Look at the screen. They did a great job. 3 guys, total 10 grabs, 87 yards, and a touchdown by Colby Parkinson here. That fits the bill. Key two, slowing down the Bucs pass game. They already were great at pressuring Baker. They forced 2 picks, and they only allowed 103 passing yards in totality. That is a big win. Lastly, in key three, winning in the red zone. On both ends, they absolutely dominated, and it's been nice to see the improvement of this team, especially in this area. They're definitely a lot better than what they were to start the year, and now they are rocking and rolling at 9-2. Okie dokie, now to number 2. The Chiefs rally late to beat Indy 23-20 in overtime. Although Casey's clock management at the end was awful, they still got it done. But for Indy, I'm sorry, you blew it. This team is not legit. Key one was to adapt on offense in the instance Jonathan Taylor was slowed down. And other than a few splash plays, I'll give them credit. It was not a consistent performance, and that carries over to key two, winning on third down. They were 5 of 13. It's not awful, but they struggled when it really mattered. And when the Chiefs defense has struggled here all year, that's not good. And then key three, pressuring Mahomes. They were pretty good. It was a little spotty, but when your offense can't move the ball, those things tend to happen. At this point, it's going to take a lot for me to change my mind, and don't let that 8-3 record fool you. The Colts are frauds. Now, if you told me after this to start the game for Kansas City they would have won, shout out Leatu Latu, I would have laughed in your face. But not now. Kansas City needed this win big time, and they delivered. Key one, slowing down Jonathan Taylor, 58 yards, less than 4 yards per carry is a great job. Too bad the NFL literally didn't highlight it enough. But key two, though, feeding Rice and Worthy, now we got a lot of that. Worthy made a few splashes, but Rashee Rice went off 8 grabs for 141 yards. KC needed one of these guys to step up in this game, and they got both. Key three, getting takeaways. They missed out here, not getting any. And with the interception and then this Kareem Hunt fumble in the red zone, this made this game a lot harder for them, but they still found a way to win. And my point still stands. You stop Jonathan Taylor, you win. And KC moves to 6-5. Alrighty, time for number 1. Chicago takes down the Steelers 31-28. And if you like offense, this one was for you, even without Aaron Rodgers. Key one, winning on third down was also good. They were consistently moving the chains, and it led to Key 2 doing well, sustaining drives. The offense was moving very well all game, and shout out to the run game. They were excellent and really helped Mason Rudolph. And then Key 3, containing Caleb Williams. They allowed him to win with his arm, but not very much with his legs, so I'll give them half credit here. But TJ Watt deserves a big shout out, passing his brother JJ in career sacks with this play. Too bad it all suffers because this defense continues to be absolutely unbearable. They fall to 6-5, and all of a sudden, Baltimore has passed them. Uh-oh. Okay, Chicago, I see you getting a huge win here, beating their first opponent with a winning record. And for them to pull this one out starts with winning up front. Key 1, this offensive line dominated, and it really helped Caleb Williams when it mattered. Although they couldn't keep Pittsburgh off the field, Key 2 was to attack downfield, and attack they did. All that money, and you still let DJ Moore get this wide open? Jesus, they were Swiss all day long. And then Key 3, forcing takeaways. What a grab, dude. Put him at receiver, coach. Add on this fumble, and they were able to capitalize. Only if their offense didn't match it, this would have been a larger win. But a win is a win, and as Chicago moves to 8-3, I am really starting to root for this bunch. Okie dokie, now that our top 5 games are out of the way, what happened in the rest of Week 12 in all these great games that happened? Let's break it down. Let's throw up the graphic. Here we go. We'll start with Bills-Texans on Thursday Night Football. Texans get the upset 23-19, stopping Josh Allen on a final drive. And I thought that after they converted 4th and 27, that the Bills were going to do it. They were going to come back. They were going to score a touchdown and win. But this Texans defense, probably the best in the NFL. If this offense was better, this might be an actual contender. But unfortunately, we can't have nice things all the time. But the Texans showed out in a big way. Their defense stepped up big time. So shout out to them as they get a huge win with CJ Stroud being out. He's going to come back next week. Then Seahawks-Titans. Seahawks win 30-24. What the Seahawks did, I think everybody expected to do. But the Titans really showed out in this game. They were very competitive. Cam Ward had his best game all year. Absolutely fantastic. Go look at some of his throws that he made against the Seahawks. He is dropping dimes against some of the best defenses in the NFL. Y'all need to watch out because Cam Ward is coming. And then Vikings-Packers, our first big loss today or on this week. Packers win 23-6 against Minnesota. Forgot to mention them in my preview. I apologize. I would have picked Green Bay to win. So I know I'm not like trying to juice up the record or anything. That was my actual legitimate prediction. But Packers win, and JJ McCarthy has another bad performance and possibly is injured again. And I know a week ago I said I'm not going to worry about it too much, and I know it's still JJ's in year 1. I know it's still all new. You can't put too much pressure on a guy in that situation. But at the same time, the offense is still very loaded with talent, with a great coach, and JJ is just not doing it right now. He's simply not playing very good football, and quite frankly, I mean, if he can't show any positive improvement going into the end of the year, going into next year, there might be a little bit of concern as to how far the Vikings could really go. And with the rise of the Bears and some other teams in the NFC, the margin for error is almost zero for Minnesota. They cannot afford for this to go into next year. And then Jets-Ravens. Ravens win 23-10. I expected this to happen. The Ravens slowly but surely throttle the Jets, and the Ravens, like I said before, and the Bears recap, are in first place in the division, so that is absolutely massive for them. Giants-Lions, mentioned at the beginning. Lions win 34-27 in overtime. Jahmyr Gibbs, big touchdown on the first play of overtime for the Lions. Absolutely insane. And Jameis Winston caught a touchdown pass in this game. He went wild. He was fun. And that's why Jameis Winston is the best backup in the NFL, because no matter where he goes, he brings two things. He brings energy to the locker room, and he brings life on the field. So Always count on Jameis Winston to show out big time. Then Patriots-Bengals. Patriots win 26-20, overcame a 10-0 deficit. A pick six by Drake May made things look a little iffy. But the Patriots came back, showed their grit, and showed their ability to bounce back in the face of adversity. So shout out for a tough win there for them. Then Jags-Cardinals. Jaguars get the win 27-24 in overtime on the road. Trevor Lawrence didn't have his best performance, had multiple interceptions, but they were able to get it done when it mattered. The Cardinals are just in shambles right now. I mean, they are absolutely miserable at the moment. Then Falcons-Saints. Falcons get the win 24-10. Excuse me, I have it wrong in my script. But wow, I was not expecting this, if I'm being honest with you. I thought that the Saints were in a prime opportunity here at home to get an upset after the starting quarterback for the Falcons, Michael Penix, went down with an injury. But no, they came out there and the Falcons showed that they have life. Is it enough to make the playoffs? No, absolutely not. But they still have something to fight for and something to prove, and they showed that in this win against New Orleans. And then lastly, 49ers beat the Panthers 20-9 on Monday Night Football. Too bad that the first time all year the Panthers defense actually outplayed their offense in a significant way, forcing 3 interceptions off of Brock Purdy in his first game back. And I'm going to be the guy to say it, sorry, but Brock Purdy still has not proved to me that he's worthy of that contract. And yeah, it's not looking great right now considering Mac Jones has played much better ball at this point. But the Panthers, they needed to show up in this game. Their defense did. Too bad their offense went right back to what they've had problems with all year long. That was so disappointing. I was really hoping the Panthers would at least step up and be a lot more competitive in this game, but they were not. So 49ers get another strong win on their end. So that being said, that is going to do it for my Week 12 recap. Are you happy? Are you not happy? Are you angry? Are you sad? Let me know how you feel about your team down in the comments down below. Secondly, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, whether it's here on YouTube, of course, or you see my content somewhere else out there on the internet. Come to the Shoemake Take, give the videos a like, give it a subscribe, and try and get us to 500 subscribers before the end of the 2025 regular season. Let's get a late season surge going. Other than that, follow me on social media. We're at Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And with that being said, that's going to do it. I love you, appreciate you, and as always, I will see you all next time.